Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I do short lunch break with Shel video tutorials Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Central Standard Time. I also do stamp therapy with Shel videos on Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock, as well as Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. I'd like to thank you for joining me today. We are going to be making a column card today. This is a new fold for me, so we are going to be learning this one together. So buckle in, because it could be a bumpy ride. For this card, I have chosen the Go-To Greetings stamp set. We're going to be using Misty Moonlight ink pad, as well as the navy bordered ribbon. I have chosen 2 packs of embellishments, the Tinsel Gems 4-pack and the Tinsel Gems 3-pack. Not sure which one of those I'm going to use. And for this card, for me, it's all about the punches. I'm using the double oval, the hexagon, the Petal Park, let me get these laid down here, and the Bough punch. And I'm going to bring this in so you can see the measurements that I'm using. I have got a card base in Night of Navy that's 10 1/8 by 5 1/2, and I've scored that at 4 1/4, 5 3/4, 7 1/4, and 8 3/4. My DSP is Countryside Inn from the annual catalog. I have 3 that are 1 3/8 by 5 3/8, 1 that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, a greeting panel for the back of my card that's basic white, 4 by 5 1/4, and of course some ribbon and some tags. And that for those tags I've used the aforementioned punches. So I'm just going to put everything aside and we're just going to work on the card base. So once again, this is 10 1/8 by 5 1/2, and I've scored it at 4 1/4, 5 3/4, 7 1/4, and 8 3/4. So we are going to burnish those score lines, and they are all going to go in the same direction. They are all mountain folds, because this is going to form our column. So this is how this card is going to go, like so. And you can choose to have the column on whatever side you want, but for me it's going to go on this side here. Alright, so now we need some tear and tape. And I'm going to put my tear and tape right on there. You can use Tombow if you desire, but for me, I like the tear and tape because this is what's going to hold our whole card together. Yes, I know I'm going overboard. That's okay. Now just a paper piercer, or take your pick tool to remove those backings. And then we are going to pop this in place, hopefully correctly. So it's right on this score line where this is going to fold. So if this folds, let me get it here. There we go. Do I have it right? No, I don't. I was paying attention to one end and not the other. Bear with me a second. I'm going to make sure I have both my ends right. All right. There we go. Burnish that, because that column has to fold like so for it to stand up, and like this for it to go in our envelope. All right, so that's the trickiest part. Perhaps maybe using Tombow might have been a better option, because that would have given me that little bit of wiggle room. All right. Now, I also realized that I did something wrong, but that's okay. We'll work with that. For the back of our card, we have a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 basic white. And just to pretty it up, I have a little leftover strip of DSP. I'm going to add this down one side just so it's pretty. And we are going to add that to the back of our card here, so we have a nice place to write our message. There we go. So there our card is standing up. Now, I have strips of DSP for each of these panels, and we are just going to lay this flat, and we're going to attach each one. And these were just leftover pieces from other projects that were in my DSP bag. There we go. There's number 1. Whichever piece you put on this center column is the one that's going to be out the front of your card. So for mine, I chose what I deem to be the prettiest one. Everybody has different taste. I chose to put the 2 neutrals on each side with the little there we go. Just put that in place. There we go. Now our columns are done. Now, I told you a bit ago that I messed up. Yes, I did. This piece should have gone on here first before I glued my column in place, because now it's too big. But guess what? We can cut it down. This is 2 3/4. So we're going to do it 2 5/8 by 5 3/8. So let's go 2 5/8. This should fix our problem. Let's give it a little dry fit here. Perfect. Look at that. Crisis averted. Told you at the start of this video we were going to be learning this fold together. So it's kind of good that I did mess up, because it gave you the opportunity to see what not to do, right? All right, there is our panel. Now, all we need to do is some decoration. I have a hexagon. I have some of the double oval punches for our greeting. Let's work on that right now. I'm going to put one of these smaller greetings in there. How about just a note? That way you can use it for a variety of occasions. If I put just a note here on the front, if I wanted, I could stamp happy birthday or congratulations or whatever on the back, right? So let's grab a block. And you'll notice I've got 2 ovals here. That's just in case I mess up, because I have pre-punched those ovals. We're going to give it a whirl, see if we can get it straight and even. Not too shabby. I'm going to try one more, see which one I like best out of the 2. Let's stamp off a little bit here and re-ink. Okay, I like that one better because this one's a little blobby on one end. So we're going to toss that one in the trash. I will clean that block after the video. You don't need to watch me do that. All right, now we are simply going to layer these together. That one, oops, come on, Shelley. Trying to keep my fingers off the ink. There we go. And then I thought I would put this on this way just to give it a little something something, but I'm going to do that one on dimensionals. All right. Take off those paper backings and we'll pop this in place. And then I'm going to flip this over and down the center. I'm going to keep them in the center because this is going to hang over the edge. Getting a little bit off center, aren't I? All right, so this is going to go on here. I think I need to wipe my hands. I've got glue all over them. And everything I touch is sticking to me. All right, so we have some navy ribbon. If I did this down through the column, I was just going to put it behind the greeting. But I could go like this and tie this off. I'm going to try it. I am going to try it. Worst case scenario is that it won't work. Best case scenario, it will work. We don't know till we try. Now, let me grab those tweezers to give me a hand. They can hold that knot for me. There we go. Good little tip for you. When you need another set of hands, just use those tweezers. All right, now, am I going to like this? Well, I think it needs to be slid down to start with. And we'll trim off those tails. That looks better. And then we have this. Yeah, this is going to work. All right, so based on that information, I'm going to put a couple more dimensionals right here, because these dimensionals are actually going to hit on that ribbon. Now I'm going to grab a glue dot to put that ribbon in place so it doesn't move around on me. I'm just going to do that, and I'll do one at the top as well. Just grab these snips to help me out. There we go. All right. Now, let's put this guy in place. Just like that. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right, just checking to make sure that we don't have any dimensionals hanging over the edge, and we don't. So now we get to decorate a little bit more. Let's get rid of these paper backings. Get those into the trash, and I will bring in all my little bits and pieces. These are punch outs from the Petal Park floral punch, and I thought we could do some 3-layer flowers, and I'm just going to poke the center of each one of these with the butt end of my paper piercer to get a little dimension. And this one I'm not going to do that with, because I'm going to put this on the back side of the card. So I'm going to leave this one flat. I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's just leave that one for after. So now we're just going to put a little drop of Tombow in there and pop in the next one. Give it a good press and hold it for a second. Same for this one. And then we'll give another drop of Tombow. Drop the next one in. Give it a press. All right. Pretty cool, eh? Now I need to find some pearls. I want little white pearls for the inside, and these are the Iridescent Pearls Basic Jewels. And I chose these because they're super, super shiny. And I want that for the middle of my flower. There we go. There are our 3D flowers. And I've also done some of the Bough punch. Now, I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to get on here, but we just have to make sure we stay within the confines of our card. So if I was to go like that, that would be beautiful, wouldn't it? Let's try that. We'll get some adhesive on the back side. Come on. There we go. Just make sure that it doesn't go over the top of our card, and all the adhesive is on this column. We don't want any on the back side or it would stick to there. And then this one, we are going to add right here. Actually, I think I'm going to tuck it right under there. Okay. Now we have to figure this side. This side we're a little more lenient because it can go out over there. But all our adhesive has to stay on the center column. Remember that. Very important. There we go. And then we'll add some adhesive to the back of this one. Pop that in place right down here. Give it a little lift after you get them back glued on so that you have the dimension back again. Kind of flatten them out a bit when I laid them on. So there is, grab a hold of this, and now I want a glue dot to put my ribbon tails in place where I want them. Don't want them moving on me. There's one. There's the other. So there, everything there is affixed. The card will stand. It will fold flat for mailing. Now we just have, I think I'm just going to layer these two together offset and put a pearl in the middle. I think. Might do a little ink definition on the edges. Ooh, this is an awfully juicy pad. I just ruined that. Okay, we're just going to go with one flower. That was a bad idea. My pad is way too juicy to do that. Where did I put my pearls? There they are. I'm just going to put one of these guys in the middle and give it just a little press. There we go. I'm just going to glue this little guy on. Let's use the right side of it. It's hard to tell. You know how when you punch, one side gets a little ridge on it from going through the punch? This piece is so little it's hard to tell. And I need my tweezers. Alright, I'm just going to pop that down here in the corner, and then we will add some adhesive to this guy, and hold it there just for a second. Pretty. All right, my friends, let me get this stuff out of the way and show you what we've come up with. This is our top view. This is our back view. This is our front view. And here's how it folds flat to go into our envelope. And then when the recipient gets it, they can stand it up to display it, like so. All right, that's my card for today. It is the column card. And there are the measurements if you'd like to take a screenshot. And I'd love to see what you come up with. Use up some of that DSP that you have and try one of these cards. They're not difficult. The only thing you have to remember, now that I've done one, is to put this piece of DSP on before you glue your column. And when you glue your column, definitely use liquid glue. It's going to be easier for you. Okay, that's my tips. Have a good day. Bye-bye.